It's time for the 10 best books of this year that are going to change your life, help you have a better personal life, and grow your income too, and inspire you to overcome all the obstacles. That's probably the greatest gift of these books, that when you're feeling down, you're going to see somebody like, oh my goodness, and this one, and this one, and this one who went through way harder stuff than you're going through right now. And it's going to make you go, if they can do that, I can do this. So I got this. Now, the first one made me buy this. This is an Oura ring. It tracks your sleep. And the book is called Why We Sleep by Dr. Matthew Walker. Now, it has some of the worst sentences in any book that I read this year. Like, he used the phrase sky leaking when all he had to do was say raining. Anyways, Mr. Matthew Walker, aside from your writing, amazing stuff in here. You'll be scared witless by how impaired you are by not getting enough sleep. So if you wake up at 7 in the morning and stay up till 2 a.m., you're as impaired as you would be as if you were drunk. That is scary. So you got to remember that before you get behind the wheel of the car. Drowsy driving kills more people than drinking and driving. So what you want to learn here is that sleep helps with your memory, with your health, all these great things. Go and get serious about your sleep. Thank you, Dr. Matthew Walker, for your sky leaking days. All right, next, this is a man, comeback story. He passed away, but when he was 68 years old, he was kicked out of the company that he started. He was going through a nasty divorce, and that was when he started the business that made him the billionaire at 68 years old. So his book is called The First Billion is the Artist. It's really fantastic. And one of my favorite quotes from the book is that a fool with a plan will beat a genius without a plan. So a fool that has a plan will beat a genius that has no plan. Remember that. That's why I spend so much time coaching you to go through your values and vision that drive every decision, build your 1-year plan, 90-day plan, and 30-day fast start blueprint. That's why we do it, okay? T-Boone, you were right. The next one is my marketing and sales book of the year from my friend Ian Stanley. This guy is so funny. He's a stand-up comedian who's also a copywriter who has sold millions of dollars worth of stuff on the internet. This book is more valuable than 99% of other sales and marketing books out there. It will help you understand how to make money from your email list, your followers, your customers, how to get more profits into your business. I don't know where you can buy this. It's not on Amazon, I don't think. It's called Confessions of a Persuasion Hitman, and you have to go and get it from my friend Ian Stanley. He's on Instagram at Becoming Ian Stanley. At Becoming Ian Stanley. I don't know why. Anyways, funny guy, amazing tennis player too. You can ask him about those stories. The next book is on here probably just because it's the biggest book that I read this year. Wow, it is Dwight D Eisenhower's biography, or one of them. It's about 700 pages long, and I bought it because I wanted to know how on earth did people plan something so complex as D-Day and make it work? And this man has a rags to success story. He never really got rich, but he came to the president of the United States. And it was because he was one of the most productive people ever that has existed in American history. But he also started with nothing and he persisted. So this was a guy who was in a dead-end job at age 45 years old. 45 years old. He was broke every single month, but he never gave up on his dream of supporting the United States. And so this is not about war. This is about learning from somebody who did something so remarkable. And you see what this guy went through before he got his big break. He never even got to fight in World War I, which, again, I'm not a war guy, but he wanted to. He never got that opportunity. So he basically was in a dead-end job. World War II came around, and he got promoted to the highest position and really helped change the world. This is an incredible book, absolutely incredible book about Dwight D Eisenhower and what he overcame to go from, he was dirt poor in Kansas when he grew up. He got into West Point and became the president of the United States. Truly remarkable story. The next book is the leadership book of the year by Gino Wickman and Renee Bohr. Okay, it's called How to Be a Great Boss. Every single entrepreneur needs this book. And it really should be how to be a great leader, because we don't want to be a boss, we want to be a leader. We want to support and lift other people up. They'll tell you how to get the right people into your business, how to keep them, how to build your culture, how to get rid of people when you have to, but most importantly, how to lift everybody up. It says, if your employees brought their A game to work every day, what would that mean for your company's bottom line? This book is the roadmap for doing that. Absolutely awesome. Here's the surprise book of the year. My goodness, I was recommended this by my friend Vern Harnish, the author of The Secrets of the Rockefeller Habits, which I recommend to everybody. And this one is by Steve Mariotti. Here's a guy who went and did something not for money. In fact, he was making money in the auto industry. He quit. He went to New York. He got mugged. And then his psychiatrist or psychologist said, you need to lean into that. You need to lean into that fear that you have of young people, because he got mugged. And he went and he started being a teacher in the projects at the worst school, the absolute worst school. And he built this program that turned at-risk youth, really, really struggling, unfortunate youth, into entrepreneurs. It is an incredible read. There was basically the next 5 books have kept me up till midnight. And you know, I go to bed early. These books, such a great read. So Goodbye Homeboy by Steve Mariotti, How My Students Drove Me Crazy and Inspired a Movement. He's the founder of the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. Please give this a read. Spread the word. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, Vern Harnish, for recommending it. Next, I am not sure how I stumbled across this book. It was a recommendation of something, and it was on Amazon, and I found this book by John Kavanagh. Shout out to John. This is there's not a lot of people I want to meet in the world, but this guy, John Kavanagh, is one of them. He is Conor McGregor's trainer. But again, another story of a guy who started off so low. I mean, when his parents found out what he wanted to do, his mom cried. And John Kavanagh wanted to start an MMA gym in Ireland. But in 1999, or 2000, nobody knew of MMA. And in Ireland, absolutely nobody was doing it. He built this gym. The gym that he built was in a garage with a tree growing inside the garage because it was so derelict and so left in disrepair. And he went and did it. He was charging a couple of quid, a couple of pounds for training sessions. And it grew into a place where Conor McGregor came there. He challenged Conor. Conor was like running away from the gym and getting involved with bad people. And John called him out. And the next thing you know, Conor McGregor started training, became world famous, and it's just an incredible freaking book. It's called Win or Learn, and the title of the book alone is valuable to you, because everybody thinks it's either win or lose, win or lose. No, it's win or learn. And that's the way that John lives life. So shout out to John Kavanagh. I can't recommend this enough. This is right up there with Relentless on how many copies I've recommended to others and bought. Same with this book, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Now, this is a couple years old. I'm a little bit behind the times on this one. What a book. Again, I read this till 1 o'clock in the morning one day just because I could not put it down. The writing is fantastic, and it's such an amazing story because it starts in 1962. He started the company in 1962 buying shoes from Japan. So you might, that's not a big deal. Yeah, it is. 1962 is only 17 years after those two countries, America and Japan, were at war with each other, hated one another. 1962, before fax, before email, before Twitter, before LinkedIn, before Facebook, before TikTok, before WhatsApp, before anything. You cannot get a hold of Japan in 1962 except for 2 ways. 1, you fly there, and he flew there all the time. And 2, mail, 3 ways, and 3, phone. And the phone bill must have been huge. The risks that this man took, and he was broke for 18 years. So all of you entrepreneurs who are upset and crying that you haven't made $1 million in 6 days since you started your Shopify store, you gotta read this book. All right? It's an entrepreneurial roller coaster that we're all on. They thought that they were gonna have a huge breakthrough because this one athlete was wearing their shoes, and then the athlete died in a tragic car accident. And they had pinned their hopes and dreams on this, and they lost it all. And then they had to go and start again, and so on and so forth. It's a book you got to read. I don't care if you're like anti-corporate Nike, you got to read this book and take the lessons from it. Take the lessons from it on persisting and never giving up. Powerful book. This next book is my woo-woo book of the year. Another book, so last year I read Relentless 3 times. I'm going to read this book 3 times. Every time you read this, you understand yourself at a deeper level. It's The Untethered Soul. It was written in 2007 by Michael Singer. He has another book called The Surrender Experiment, which is another amazing book. But The Untethered Soul is about separating your thoughts in your head from your true self. And it really is a valuable book that will get you through a lot of struggles. It will help you overcome criticism. It will help you realize that, hey, this is a very short life. We're 1 in 10 billion people, because there's going to be billions of people after us. And listen, just relax about some of the stress going on in your life. Read this book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And then finally, not only is this the surprise book of the year, the most helpful book of the year, the book that I read till probably 1:30 in the morning. I couldn't put this down. It was Open by Andre Agassi. Again, a few years behind the time. I can't remember when it was written exactly, but man, what a great book. So much greatness in the lessons of storytelling. It opens up with him saying, I hate tennis. I've always hated tennis. And this is a guy who played tennis until his mid-30s. And he had so many comeback stories. He could have quit so many times. He had so much against him. He had so many of his own personal faults that he had to overcome. And it was just absolutely awesome. So go and get Open by Andre Agassi. It is one of the best sports autobiographies of all time. One of the better memoirs out there, period, from Time magazine. I absolutely agree. So listen, you're going to grab all those books. You're going to read them. You're going to become a better person. You're also going to get my new book, The Perfect Week Formula, which will be out very soon. Okay, so I wrote The Perfect Day Formula, bestseller. I wrote Unstoppable, another bestseller. And now I realized, you know what? I have one more book to write, The Perfect Week Formula. It's going to be out really soon. So drop me a comment down below and let me know, what was your favorite book that you read this year? What's your favorite book of all time? What book should I read next? Want to hear from you. Drop that comment below, or you send me a private message, whatever it is, and then ask me how you get a copy of The Perfect Week Formula, and we'll get that to you soon. Otherwise, go to freeperfectdaybook.com and grab my first book. It'll help change your life. Talk to you soon.